Hey, ladies and gentlemen. So I have uploaded two pictures actually of the heart, one that has all of the labels in green, and then another one that has the flow of blood, both oxygenated and deoxygenated. You may have looked at them prior to getting this into your notes. If not, you can choose to watch this video, then put them in your notes or vice versa. So what I would like to do is I'd like to talk about the parts of the heart. Now, the interesting thing about the heart is when you look at it on paper, it's opposite. So normally people would assume this is the left side and this is the right side because looking at it, left, right. But what you have to remember is that on paper, this is facing you when it should be in your chest. So you should be able to pick up this picture off of your table or whatever. And if you turned it and placed it in front of you, you would notice that this is actually the right side and this is actually the left. Okay, so imagine picking this up, turning it, and putting it in. So we're going to go through and go down this side first, and then we will go through the information on this side. So we're starting at number 2, and this is found on page 5 of your notes. This is called the superior vena cava. Then I'm going to jump down here to number 10, and that is called the inferior vena cava. Now, vena being vein, so this is a little bit larger vein that brings blood towards your heart. Okay, so veins bring blood towards your heart, arteries take blood away. So 2 and 10 are both vena cavas, and they're carrying the blood into the very first structure, which is right here, number 7, which is the right atrium. All right, so that's where the blood is going to flow into, is the right atrium. Blood flows into the heart to every atria we have, which is 2, but we're just starting on this side. From there, it passes through something that is called the tricuspid valve. You may also hear it be called the AV valve, all right? And this is just this tiny little flap right here. Next, it loads up into the right ventricle, which is this big shape piece right here, this large area right here. All right, so blood has come through here into here. It's in here. Now it is going to be pumped out into this area right here, past this valve, which is called the pulmonary valve. Now, this valve and this valve are actually both named semilunar valves. So in order to distinguish them differently, we call this one the pulmonary. Why do we call it the pulmonary? Because this piece right here is known as the pulmonary tree, right here. All right. Now, the pulmonary tree, pulmonary meaning lungs, means that we are going to pump this blood out of our right pulmonary artery and our left pulmonary artery. And that is going to actually send it to your lungs. So everything we've talked up to this point, or all the points I've gone through right now, every single one of these is getting blood ready and prepared to be sent to the lungs. Why? Because it's lacking oxygen. There's no oxygen in this blood right now. So the right side of your body carries what we would call deoxygenated blood, blood that has lacking oxygen and needs to be more oxygen needs to be put back into the blood, so it's going to the lungs. Once the lungs have reoxygenated the blood, or oxygenated the blood, we should say, it's going to come in through these structures over here. So this is the left pulmonary vein and the right pulmonary vein. Both of these veins lead into structure 16, which is the left atria. Okay, again, remember all blood goes to atriums first. So we now have oxygenated blood in the left atrium. It's going to go past this little valve right here, known as the mitral valve or the bicuspid valve. And then what it's going to do is it's going to enter into what we call the left ventricle. The left ventricle will fill up with blood and it'll be pushed up and through structure 15, which is the aortic valve. Now, again, this was called the pulmonary valve because it's sending all of our blood to our lungs, which is the pulmonary side of things. This right here is called the aortic valve because it's going to push it up into the aorta. Now, the aorta has a bunch of different branches off of it, and that is because it sends it to the upper part of your body, to your head, right? And then it has to send it to the lower part of your body. So we would actually refer to this as the ascending aorta, and this would be the descending aorta. So again, anything being pumped on the left side, ladies and gentlemen, has oxygen in it, and it needs to go to your body in order for your body to receive oxygen. Now, the last structure right here in this middle here is actually super important, and it has nothing to do with pumping blood. It has everything to do with keeping the left and right side separate. You do not want your blood mixing. Why? Because this side has no oxygen And this side has lots of oxygen. If you mix the blood, you're never going to get enough oxygen to your body in order for you to be able to do things like cellular respiration. And if you have oxygenated blood on this side and it's being pumped to your lungs, you won't get enough oxygen put into the blood. So number 12 is called the septum, and it is the separating part of your heart. All right. So again, these are all the structures. I've already put pictures in the notes section, so you can copy these down if you want, or you can pause the video here and quickly copy them all down if you would like. The picture I've also posted is showing you guys the movement of blood, blue being deoxygenated and red being oxygenated on the picture I did.